warm welcome back to my kitchen today. I am so honored that you're here, and I'm very excited for today's video because we are getting ready to bake for Christmas. I still cannot believe that we're actually here. Christmas time. But I'm so excited. Christmas baking has got to be some of my absolute favorite of the entire year. So while you're watching, let me know in the comments below what your favorite Christmas baked good or just Christmas treat in general is. I would love to hear from you on that, but we're starting off here with some cinnamon rolls. These are sourdough cinnamon rolls with a twist, literally. So to start off with, we are going to roll out my dough. I was mixing them and realized I had added too much flour, but it was too late and I did not have enough sourdough starter to start another batch. So we're just gonna give it our best shot and roll this out. I'm actually gonna turn this into a braid and then a wreath, which is gonna be really fun. So let's get this rolling. Okay, next I'm gonna take my butter and just spread that on here. Now I just take my butter with clean fingers and smear it. To give this some Christmas color, I'm actually going to put some of this raspberry sauce on here. I made this the other day. It is time to use it up anyway. And I realized I'm out of cinnamon, so cinnamon rolls without cinnamon, I guess, here today. I'm still going to sprinkle a little bit of brown sugar on here, get that kind of deep flavor, and then spread a thin layer of my raspberry filling on here, and then we'll roll it up and continue as normal. Normally I know you'd roll it the short way. For this, I'm gonna actually roll it the long way. Okay, now is when we hold our breath a little bit. This will probably get a little bit sloppy, but wait to judge till we see the outcome, right? I'm gonna attempt to transfer this right on here now. And then I know I mentioned a wreath earlier. I discovered that this is not going to be long enough to turn into a proper wreath, so I'm going to do a braid instead, which is also going to be the same idea. I was just going to take the braid and then turn that into a wreath, but I guess I should have done the recipe another time for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it with a serrated knife, leaving about an inch at the end. Okay, got my serrated knife, and what I'm going to do is start right about here, so you have about an inch or two left on the end, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut that through. And then we'll take both sides and braid it. That over. All right, and then we'll just pinch the end a little bit. And then I like to take this side as well and turn it inside out so that you can't see where it starts. Just like that. And then I'll cover this and let it rise for about an hour. Okay, the next one I already have in a pan here, and I'm very excited because I am making it's kind of like the baked Alaska idea, and if you're not familiar with that, basically means we get to play with fire today. So I love doing this dessert for company. It's a real crowd pleaser just because of presentation. But to start off with, I'm not going to do the traditional like the Neapolitan ice cream with the chocolate base. We have a lot of chocolate things going on today, so I thought, you know what, let's switch it up a little. We're going to do a sourdough apple cake on the bottom and then put vanilla ice cream on top and still do the meringue and the flame and all of that. So anyways, I mixed this last evening. It was fermenting overnight, and now I'm going to just pop it into the oven. I'll have this recipe linked down below. It's from Clever Carrot, I believe. That's the cake recipe, and then we'll bake this, and then after everything is cold we can actually assemble it. Next up is a recipe that I have been so excited to try, and it is homemade marshmallows. So I tried these, oh goodness, probably a couple years ago now. They were not delicious, but they were sweetened with honey, and I felt like all you could taste was just a really strong honey smell, and I like honey, but it was just too overpowering. So this is a different recipe. This one is from Simply Allie Homestead, I believe she's called, over on Instagram, and I'll link her Instagram down below. But this one is sweetened with maple syrup, and I'm like, yes, why didn't I try that sooner? It just seems like maple syrup would also lend itself better to hot chocolate and things that you would often eat marshmallows with. So to start off with, I am going to pour half a cup of water into a little bowl here and sprinkle a 1/4 cup of gelatin over top. This is just like unflavored, plain gelatin, whatever it's called. So we're gonna sprinkle that over top, let it bloom, and then move over to the saucepan for the rest of the ingredients. Okay, we're gonna add 3/4 cup water, 3/4 cup maple syrup, and then also some vanilla and salt to this. Little pinch of salt. And then we're going to heat this until it's nice and hot but not boiling. From our baking and try on New Flora's December collection. There are so many beautiful, just functional, even everyday pieces in this collection that I am so excited to share with you. My discount code with them is still good, golden hour 10. I will leave that for you in the description box below as well. Anyway, so hopefully that can help you out. If you are new, they release a new collection every single month, and so the December collection will launch this Wednesday. So in 2 days at, I believe it's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll have that for you also down in the description box. The links will be locked until the collection launches. So if you are eyeing certain pieces, have favorites you'd like to snag, be there at 3 o'clock because they do tend to sell out quickly. So anyway, I hope that is helpful for you. For reference, I am 5'7" and immediately in love with this dress. This is the Eldridge dress. I am wearing a small in this one, and I was a little concerned if it would be restricting, but it's actually really, really comfortable. Absolutely love this little button detail on the sleeve here. It is 100% cotton and just this gorgeous chocolate brown corduroy fabric. So nice thick fabric for the winter months. Buttons are functioning, and it also would be bump friendly. There's plenty of room in the waist. This is the Asheville Dress. It is 100% cotton, but just look at that beautiful fabric. I just love the little detail on it. It is lined till about the knee, which is really nice, and then has that little ruffle at the bottom. I paired it with the Georgiana Jacket. This is such a comfortable piece. Obviously has pockets and would be so great even with a pair of pants, a jean skirt, a black skirt, a little black dress. So many options for a jacket like this. It does have this really cozy lining as well, which is really fun. I'm wearing a small. Another option with this dress would be to pair it with a sweater like this for the cooler months. I'm getting quite a few questions over how do you wear dresses. This is one idea. Now, this is a little bit of a cropped fit. Well, not really cropped. It's just not super long. It does come down to the waist, but what I would do is tie a piece of baker twine up here, not tight, but just comfortable, and then tuck the sweater up behind it, and that is totally such a cute look. But this sweater is also 100% cotton, so just really comfortable, breathable, and it does have just this beautiful cable knit. Oh, there we go. That's the beautiful knit texture, and another great option to pair with the Asheville dress. The Isabella dress is back in another color, and oh my goodness, I am so in love with this print. It is the prettiest, like sky blue, kind of a muted sky blue, but then with the little white florals. I love it so much. It is my favorite 100% cotton, like gauze fabric. I have this in 2 other prints, and it is one that I reach for so often through really every season. I wore it in the summer, I wore it in the fall, I'm wearing it now in the winter. You can pair it with a cardigan now. I did size down one this time because it is a pretty like flowy fit. And I'm not looking for maternity wear right now, although I probably still could. It is just a really comfortable piece. I'm wearing an extra small this time. And then this tie detail is actually functioning, which makes it really nice. You can nurse in it if you are looking for that, but also adjust your neckline, how big you want that to be. So that is really fun. And then they have carried the ivy vest for a while now. I've seen so many people loving it over dresses, and that is definitely also such a great idea. And then this would even be really cute in the summer, I feel like, or spring, transitioning into summer over like a tank top or a t-shirt. Add something that way as well. But this is the ivy vest in cream. If you've been around for a while, you have seen the fall river dress. I love that dress, and this is the Monroe dress, which is really a very similar dress, except this one is in long sleeves, so that is super fun. I love this color. I did get a medium, and I think I will return it for a small because it is just a little too big. It does have a snap button, but this area is way too big if I don't just tie it. But that is one of the nice parts about a wrap dress, which is what this is. It does have this piece that folds over, so you first tie it here, tie it again here, and so it feels good and secure, but it is a little bit more adjustable. However, I think I will still return it for a smaller size because it's just kind of baggy everywhere. But it has a beautiful ruffle sleeve, and yes, it is 100% cotton. It has that gorgeous cotton gauze fabric that I love so much. This one is a little bit longer. It hits me almost at the ankle. This one would also be nursing and bum friendly. You know what? Let's try it with this sweater. I feel like this would be really cute layered over literally everything and look a little bit more put together, but feel like you just have a big giant blanket wrapped around you. This is that same fabric that I have been living in this winter. It feels like wool. I think it is a blend of some different fabrics, but it is so soft and so warm. So I have been really loving this. This cardigan is nice and long. It does have buttons. It has nice deep pockets, so this one will definitely be on repeat. I am wearing a small. Okay, this sweater is actually the exact same fabric, I believe. This is the West Point sweater in cream. I'm wearing the small medium size, and this one has so much fun detail. I just paired it with, I think these are the Adelaide jeans. I don't remember the name. They're from a number of collections ago. I just tucked it in a little bit on the side, but it is a nice loose fit on its own. And then look at the detail. So we have a lot going on here with this one. Looks very similar fabric as the previous cardigan that I showed you, but then it has this fun crisscross and then little, I don't know what you call this, but cute little detail on the side, which goes all the way down, and then a fun little detail at the hem here as well. I feel like this one has all the vintage vibes with this cute little like piping detail here. I would call it like an olive greenish brownish color, and it is so comfortable. This one is 100% cotton, so just really breathable. It would actually be so cute also paired with this denim jacket. Oh my goodness, yes, how fun. First impression touching this one is, oh my goodness, feels like butter. It is so soft. I did get this one in a medium, while a small would make the perfect layering piece. I feel like a medium does too, and it just makes it not quite skin tight, because I know a lot of more layering pieces tend to be a little bit tighter. So I love it. I love the fit of this one. Buttons are functioning, so it's just adds cute detail, but also makes it really easy nursing access. Love the length of the sleeves. It is just so perfect in every way. It is a longer piece. Y'all, I don't even remember the name of this skirt. I've had it for probably a year, 2 years, I don't even know. It is a nice length of a top as well. Anyway, just a really comfortable piece. So that is everything that I have from the December collection. I hope that was helpful, give you a little sneak peek on the know. I know so many of you always ask about what I got and how things fit, so I hope this kind of gives you some direction. Anyways, but we better head back into the kitchen and get some more work done there now. My raspberry roll braid has been rising for about an hour now, so I'm gonna pop it in the oven and bake it. Every Christmas, my grandma used to make fudge, and she would wrap it up in little piece of saran wrap, and then they would put it in these little brown paper bags and gift it to all of us grandkids for Christmas, along with peanuts and some other treats. But Grandma's fudge was always in there, and it became such a special thing, kind of her signature thing every Christmas, which was really fun. And so today I want to make fudge. This is not my grandma's recipe, however it is one that we really enjoy, and just fudge at Christmas time reminds me so much of her and makes me miss her. But for the one that I am doing today, really simple to remember. It is a cup of coconut oil, a cup of peanut butter, a cup of maple syrup, a cup of cocoa powder, and then about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we also really love to sprinkle some pecans over. Today I also want to do some flaky salt because that just makes everything better. It tastes so delicious, but it's really easy. Today I am doubling my recipe, so I'm doing 2 cups of all of those things. You simply put all of it into a saucepan, and then we're gonna bring it to a boil. And then as soon as it starts to boil, it's done. You pour it into a pan, sprinkle the pecans and flaky sea salt on it, and then you just need to refrigerate it until it's set, or if you're really in a hurry, freezer will do it faster. That's all there's to it. It is so simple. It is pretty good for you and just a really delicious treat around Christmas time. So I'm gonna go and boil this now, and then we can pour it into the pan. Alright, this is what it looks like right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the freezer to start setting before I put my flaky salt on, because I don't want this to dissolve. So let it start setting for probably 5-ish minutes first. Very favorite things to bake every single Christmas, and the reason that it's such a favorite for me to bake is because it's Josh's favorite thing to eat at Christmas time, favorite cookie that is. He requests these every single year. They are chocolate crinkle cookies. I did make them sourdough this year, so we'll see how that is. I also want to do a little bit of a twist on these. So normally you would roll them in icing sugar, and I thought this year, you know what, let's switch it up. He also really loves mint, so why don't we dip half the cookie in white chocolate and then sprinkle some crushed candy canes on it. So that's what I'm gonna try with these. This batter was also fermenting overnight, so it's a little bit stiff from being in the fridge, but I think it's going to work. So let's bake these up now, just in time for lunch. Chocolate for these. I'm waiting on this to cool, and I'm waiting on my cake for the baked Alaska to also get really cold in the freezer. So I think I'm gonna start the next thing. This is how baking goes. It's a lot of multitasking. Whoa, that's heavy. If you watched my last video, you know that we ended off with mixing up some bone broth. I was getting ready to cook off the bones for 2 days. I had them cooking, and then yesterday I actually strained all of the broth off, and so that's what we have here now. I like to put it into the fridge so that the fat separates, because it does have a layer of fat. That's what you see on top here. So I'm gonna take the fat off and then make one of our favorite wintertime, Christmas time drinks, which is bone broth hot chocolate. This is such a favorite. I was very skeptical last year, being big and pregnant and very sick. I was like, I'm sure you can taste the bone broth. But I was very pleasantly surprised. It adds, I would say, a little bit of a depth of flavor, but you cannot taste the broth. It is unreal. I still can't believe it, but I'm very excited to make it again. So we'll do that, and then we can top it with our fresh homemade marshmallows. Those are also chilling in the fridge, so I haven't cut those yet, but we'll get to that here. Okay, we have access to the broth. I don't know if you can see that beautiful deep color, but I'm gonna scoop off what I need for the bone broth. We're gonna add some whole milk and heat it up. Okay, it's the moment of truth for our marshmallows. Now, I think this will be a little bit of a trial and error thing as far as my tops are not smooth. Let me just flip this around. Okay, so it is better on the bottom. I wonder if I took it out maybe a little bit too, or if I blended the peaks a little too long. I wonder if that would make a difference. Anyway, let's cut them and then we'll see what they taste like. They look nice and squeezy. Okay, let's give them a try. I'm a little bit nervous. Wow, okay, definitely do maple syrup instead of honey. Huge difference. Gotta do something cranberry for Christmas, right? I pulled out some fresh cranberries from the fridge, and I thought it'd be fun to make some sugared cranberries. Originally, I thought I would do this with a white chocolate tart, but I'm starting to feel like maybe I rather want to do a cheesecake and then have these be on top, maybe with some fresh rosemary. And then we have fellowship meal at church tomorrow, so then that would be something easy that I could just take along for that. So at this point, I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna actually use these sugared cranberries for. Probably one of those two options. My white sugar is empty, and so I'm gonna use brown sugar. I think that should be fine. Cup of that, cup of water. We'll first bring that to a boil. And this recipe is actually from New York Times Cooking, something like that. I'll try to link it down below. However, I've noticed when I try to get on their website on my laptop, then it does not work. It wants you to like sign up for some membership. However, when I go on it on my phone, it works. So I don't know. Hopefully the link actually works for you, but that's where this one is from. Okay, I won't be able to have cooking times for the cinnamon braid down in the description box because I had it in there originally at like 325, and I knew from previous times of making a braid that it tends to take a little bit longer because you don't want the tops to get too dark, and they tend to get really dark before the inside is cooked, especially when it's so big. So I've just been keeping an eye on this, and I have lost track of time, but I did turn my temperature way down in between just to avoid it from getting too dark on the top. My biggest tip really in cooking, in baking, is a food thermometer. Maybe not my biggest tip, but a big tip, because it's so easy to overbake, underbake, undercook, overcook, all the things, and this just tells you, you don't have to guess. So for cinnamon rolls, they are done when the internal temperature is like 190 to 200 degrees, and so I've just been watching that. It is now, and so it's finally ready to come out, and this is what it looks like. So you can see the tops are a little bit dark. I don't think they'll taste burnt. This is how they always turn out, a little bit darker on the outside. I want to put cream cheese frosting, like drizzle that over this, as well as some confectioner's sugar, some fresh raspberries. Y'all, this thing is not done. This is the beginning to the party, okay? But now we can finally bake our chocolate crinkle cookies. Okay, moving out here to the porch now because my light is starting to go in the kitchen. So I moved out here and this looks a little bit rough right now. I took off 2 of the darkest edges, but I want to cover it with some icing sugar, as well as I have a cream cheese glaze here and some fresh raspberries. So we're going to garnish with that and see if we can still kind of redeem it and make it look really nice. I did taste a bit of what we had pulled off and it does taste delicious. So we will decorate this up, and then William is starting to need me, so I think I'm going to finish my baked Alaska maybe a different day here. But for now, let's deck this thing up a little. Couple days later now, and just actually got home from the dentist, so I'm a little bit numb yet, but I thought, you know what would be really fun to celebrate that we're done at the dentist is put together this baked Alaska. So I still have my apple cake here. I had just cut the top straight, semi-straight the other day, so I'm going to put that on, and then I froze ice cream in a bowl because I want a little bit of a dome top. We're gonna put this on next. This is one of those desserts that's really nice to do if you want to impress company but not actually have a ton of work. We are gonna get this out, and then I also made a meringue. I'm gonna spread that over top, torch it, and that's all there is to it. Okay, coming in with a fork now, I'm just gonna make some peaks here because that's what's gonna make the torch really add dimension. Okay, now for my favorite part. Let's play with fire. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen today. I hope you were inspired, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, friends.
Golden, golden thing.